It's Honeysuckle and Rachel Blackmore racing's golden duo.
Tiger Roll joins the greats and beats Magic of Light.
Best behaviour on the near side with the wettest of saves for Barry Brown and Oliver McKiernan. Local trainer Derek comes in again and beyond his test. Lord Lyon wins it from...
It's Samco on the stand side before he had the second round, but he lands in the lead by half a length and goes on from Samco.
Hello and welcome to World One Chasing, the Champion Chase episode. Energamine, Edward Stone, Editor de Geet, Gentleman de Me, Nube Negra, Granatine, Fernando Civila, Captain Guinness, Shackleton Poursois, and Core Sublime. What a race again, Killian.
Yeah, savage race. It's very competitive. Like, you know, it's nice that there's no, like, let's say Energamine has hosed up or Edward Stone has hosed up in the Clarence House. You'd say, right, Jesus, there's a really, really solid favourite here. It's going to be very hard to beat. But instead now we've got basically joint favourites there, 13-8, 7-4, and then Editor de Geet, who beat both of them last time out at 5-1. Gentleman de Me improved his form as well the last day. Like, it's hotly contested between those four. You'd assume Blue Lord goes to Ryanair then.
Yeah. Just cast your mind back 12 months and think of all the panicking the people were doing around Cheltenham and short price favourites and uncompetitive races. You were nearly under the assumption that National Hunt Racing was dying completely on his feet and that the Cheltenham Festival was something to be finished and done with because of uncompetitive racing. What a turnaround this year, Annie. There's none of that talk.
Yeah, bar the champion hurdle, like there's no race that you'd say there's a complete and utter certainty. Like, even looking at the cross country there very quickly, like Delta Work is even money, like, but you've Galvin is now going to run it. So, like, you know, they're every race is competitive, and then of course the handicaps are always competitive. Like, so. Yeah.
Like, it'll be one of the most competitive any in recent years, I think, looking at it at this stage. You know, that's the way it looks to me. But look, we start off there. Energamine, I suppose, Edward Stone and Editor de Geet, they all tie in from the last day. My own view on it is, like, I have Energamine down there for 3 stars. I think that, forgetting the mistake at the last, Edward Stone was going to beat him as well. You know, and he wasn't passing Editor de Geet, obviously. You know, so I just think at the prices and that, I think he's too short. The Champion Chase last year too, what did he beat? Fernando Civila was second, like. Envoalen was third. Fourth was, can't remember, was somebody else very poor. I just think...
Cheltenham, I think, was it?
Yeah,
was she
put the Cheltenham. Yeah, she's a pig.
Stop. She's a champion chaser.
She's a pig. She's the worst champion chase winner I'd say there ever was.
Yeah, but she still has it in the back pocket, you know.
She does, yeah, but she's a pig. And she's finished with, thank God. Like, right, we're not getting into her. But anyway, look, Edward Stone, I reckon, is a better bet than Energamine. You know, you wouldn't. I was surprised too. I forgot that he was 9. You know, like, he's only in his first year open company chasing, and he's 9. But what are your thoughts on those 3?
I can't split Energamine and Edward Stone. I think they're both better than Editor de Geet. I can't split them though. I don't know. Like, if you said Energamine 5-4, Edward Stone 2-1, or I don't know, bigger than 2-1, 5-2, I'd say, right, I'll back Edward Stone's prices. But, like, if they go off 7-4 joint favourites, I don't know what I'll do. Like, I think they're definitely both in the first 2. And then you're looking at something else like Editor de Geet. Is he going to have it as handy as he did the last time? I don't know.
Yeah.
Will Energamine maybe take him on and try and force it a small bit? I'm not sure. Like, he was allowed winded up from a long way. Like, he was getting breathers in when it suited, you know. Like, it wasn't an in gallop, like, so it did suit him like that. But, like, this is Editor G. He obviously improved his form a bit this year, like, but he used to be getting beaten in handicaps last year, like, so you have to wonder as well, is there something up with Energamine? Is he not as good as he was last year, and is Edward Stone just not as good as what we thought either? Like, then you're looking down the betting Gentleman to Me, like, gave a serious performance in Leopardstown.
He was, yeah.
Yeah, like
I'm a big fan of him.
yeah,
Now, like, and I said before in this podcast, like that, I almost put him in our 10 to follow.
Mm.
I almost put him into one of my 5 horses. And near on deer, I couldn't believe how poor he was.
Yeah,
You know, like he was 6 to 7 there at Leopardstown, the grade 1 at Christmas. Like, you know, again, he only beat one horse home, I think, at Sandown as well.
yeah.
You know, like he was so disappointing, and I don't know where the last run came out of.
It's. I said it. I think I said it after Sandown that he's a spring horse. Like, but
You
that
did,
that
yeah.
his form is coming in the spring. That you wouldn't write him off completely. But in fairness, I wrote him off. I thought the other ones were just better. Like, but do you remember he beat an Edwardstone in Aintree last year? So like he's
Yeah.
closely matched with Edwardstone, and you're looking at 9-1 versus 7-4. Maybe he's takes another step forward. You know, he's going to be in the frame. Then down a bit further, New Benegra goes really well, fresh. Won't have ran since the Desert Orchid when he was beaten well by Editor Tajit, but he goes well, of course, in distance there, like, and he's ran well in the race before. Um, wouldn't discount him completely. Grenadine won't run, I'd say. And if he does, he's no
Yeah,
good.
I
Um,
think he will.
no.
Trainer came out there and said before the last day that he wasn't fully wound up. You know, that he wasn't ready for the race, and did he come on a lot for it? So I can't imagine that. Like, the only reason he's not fully wound up is because Cheltenham is in mind. I'd be amazed if he didn't run there.
Yeah, he's still even if he wasn't fully wound up, he still should have won that race.
Yeah, well, he wasn't far off it, to be fair. He was only bet a couple of lengths. I know a few horses bet him home, but he was only bet a couple of lengths, and you'd be surprised when the horses left short, like, you know.
Yeah, I suppose, but like looking at the race on the face of it, like he's been beaten by who actually beat him? Funami de Civila and Elixir de Nuts. Like I actually gave a good actually I was speaking about Elixir de Nuts after he won in Wincanton, and you dismissed him completely as a horse. And he's gone out and beat Grenadine. Like Grenadine is completely and utterly shit. Like he's rated 170. Don't ask me why. Like
Yeah,
he's won grade ones in Sandown. Potentially he just runs really well in Sandown. He won um that Haldon Gold Cup handicap in Exeter, but like Nichols goes really well with those horses in Exeter. Like going back to the Desert Orchid last year, Shishkin beat him 10 lengths in Kimpton, and then he went to the Dublin Racing Festival and he came last, like before going back to
yeah,
Sandown and beating Score Royale. You
yeah.
know, like
I
his
don't.
form comes at Sandown. He's not a 170 rated chaser, and you could probably add a 0 to the 25 beside him because he's no chance.
Yeah, I don't disagree with you. I do think he'll be there, but I don't think he's a chance either. To be honest, which is evident in the charts. So we're just going back a small bit there to Nube Negra. That's actually one you dismissed hugely. After he finished behind Editor de Geet, actually, you were laughing at me for putting him up, and he went out
Yeah,
to 23-1, and that run doesn't look half as bad now as it did then. You know, he was beaten 12 lengths,
well, he
and
was totally hammered. Like,
yeah, and he was given £6.
yeah, he was still hammered though.
Yeah. Well, so he was bet by 12 lengths, and he was given £6. And look what Editor de Geet has done since then. Now,
Yeah,
you said yourself, and it's common knowledge that Nube Negra needs to go fresh. You know, he only had a month and a half, we say 6 weeks off before that race at Kempton. Now he's got the guts of 3 months off. You know, he's going to be a lot closer to Editor de Geet. You know, I'd be quite sweet on him, to be honest. I could see him going very close, and he likes Cheltenham. He'll be fresh. He'll be thereabouts.
yeah, I can't see him beating an Ergamine or Edwardstone. So he's to beat one out of Editor Cheat and Gentleman to me, and I wouldn't fancy him to do that either.
I
Like
could I
he's
could
a very
very
good
well
horse,
see
fresh. Like yeah,
horses aren't machines, you know, and like I think it's very hard to be saying, like, I don't see much between Nube Negra and Energamine. If Energamine, like on his last run, Nube Negra will beat him 100%. He would. If Energamine comes out and runs the same and is 6 lengths behind Edwardstone, I can guarantee you Nube Negra will be somewhere between them. If not possibly ahead of Edwardstone. I do like him. I know I'm only have given him 2 stars there, but I always fall into this trap with him talking him up because I do think he's a good horse. Further down the field, then I suppose there's nothing there. Although you've a fucking star there on Course Sublime somehow.
I don't know.
Yeah, I don't know either. Is that a mistake?
I don't know.
We'll give you a chance here now to retract it if you want.
No, I won't retract it. I just think potentially, let's say, if one or two of the top ones didn't run, like Captain Guinness isn't going to run, Shaq and Pursoir isn't going to run. I don't think Grenadine will run, and of course the Blind would beat Grenadine, I'd say. So, like, I'm just thinking if there was 5 runners, Course Sublime, like he finds nothing off the bridle, but just let's allude to it that they go fairly hard, and he could be on the bridle jumping the last. Now he'll find nothing, but he'll probably need a quad bike to get up the hill, like. But he might come third, like. He might come third. And like you look back at his form last year when he ran in Punchestown, and I think that could be potentially the key. Like I probably just run in Punchestown, like, but he was only just beaten by Blue Lord in a Grade 1. So I don't know. I think
I can see the way you're saying that there could be a bit of a pace collapse in terms of like they could.
Well, not even a pace collapse. Like he's going to be on the bridle. He'll be last off the bridle. Like.
Yeah, and he'll find absolutely nothing.
Yeah, but
he wouldn't have the power. He wouldn't have the power to pull the socks off a dead man.
He might only have to beat. He might only have 2 horses to beat, to come third. Like.
No, and you're writing off Nube Negra, and you're talking about Course Sublime.
Well, Nube Negra might come third as well. Nube Negra won't win the championships. Course Sublime won't either, but he might come third.
He won't. Nube Negra has a better chance of winning the championship than Course Sublime does at coming third. I can guarantee you that.
No, I wouldn't.
He does. He does, and he'd be a better price for it too. But yeah, it's another great race. Like you could be waffling here last year talking about all these great races, and you'd have a lot of sharp price favourites, and they're not great races at all.
Yeah.
But these are genuinely very competitive, and we're in for some treat.
We are for sure, yeah.
So you're in the Innergamine camp, are you?
Yeah, Innergamine wins it.
Okay. I'm going to go. Jeez, I know I've only put 2 stars for Nube Negra on that. I'd be fair tempted.
Oh.
I won't. I'd be fair tempted though. I go Edward Stone. Because he'll turn that form around with Edward Geet from the last day, and Innergamine. I don't know. I'm not too gone on him. I'm not too gone on him at all. So Edward Stone at 7-4, and a very honourable mention to Nube Negra, the Spaniard. Okay, we'll talk to you.
Good luck.
Vauban finds more now and kicks away and up the hill. Vauban wins the JCB Triumph Hurdle.
Round the home turn, Davy Russell decides to send Presenting Percy on now. It's a beautiful straight, 11 victories for Honeysuckle. She is the winner of the Unibet Champion Hurdle.
Heaven help us, runs riot to win the Coral Cup.
Manila Indo is all out, flat out, but he wins the Gold Cup.